Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to Simply Forex. Trader Tom here, and I am all yours for the next 45 minutes or so. Guys, within those 45 minutes, we have a lot to do. We are going to look at the charts and we are going to do some in-depth analysis. I'm going to show you a trade that I am currently in. I'm in pound US dollar sells. We're also going to take a quick look at the news, although no real news for today. And then more importantly, guys, we are going to answer all of your questions. When I say we, I mean me. Or maybe some people on the live chat will answer your questions. But yeah, so guys, don't be afraid. Come say hello and leave a question. And it can be anything to do with trading, right? It could be a currency pair you're looking at. It could be something to do with strategy, money and risk management, psychology. It could be absolutely anything, guys. So don't be shy. Come and ask a question. So let me start with the trade I'm in, and then we'll go along and I'll look at the live chat, guys, and see what questions we've got there as well. But let's start with the trade that I'm in. So I am in pound US dollar sells. Okay. And basically, guys, it was an against trend trade, right? If we look at pound US dollar, right? This is the structure of the market. So we're clearly in an uptrend. We're getting higher highs, right? The only thing with it is the price is overextended up here, right? Not super overextended, I must admit, but it is, overextended. Plus, we have a nice big bearish daily candle. Plus, we have a bit of room to move back into, potentially down to these last highs in here and this support level, right? And the moving average 20 is always a good visual representation, right? Price wants to come back to the moving average 20, right? Because the moving average 20 is the mean of the chart, right? So it wants to go back to the moving average 20. Never in the history of trading has it not gone back to the moving average 20, right? So bear that in mind. I was trying to think of an analogy there, but I couldn't, right? Anyway, it's like a boomerang. There you go. It always wants to come back, right? That's what the moving average 20 is. There's my analogy. So, yeah, a little bit overextended, nice big bearish candle, room to move into, right? That was the catalyst for my trade. And I've also got something really interesting to show you of why I chose this trade. And we'll look at that in a minute. But let's look at this trade technically. So daily said I could sell this, right? And then as you can see, guys, on the H4, ever since we've come up to here, we've broken down, right? We are in a H4 downtrend, okay? So again, we're in a H4 downtrend, right? I believe we can come down to 1.3450, if not a bit further, right? And when I entered the trade, this is what it looked like. Okay, we had a nice big bearish candle like this. And all I did was say to myself, right, if we get a nice retrace into here somewhere, I can put my stop loss above here. I will look to take price lower, right? It was very bearish. Okay, and then if we go down to the H1, guys, there was this area in here, right? Let me actually draw a support level here. So again, right, what was once support is a pretty good area for resistance, right? And that was it, guys. So I waited for price to come back to there. Okay, there you go, right? We got a little bit of a bounce off this level, not much, right? Worth pointing out here, guys, is that this candle isn't my entry candle, right? It's worth pointing that out. My entry candle is still this large H4 candle here. That's the entry candle. That's the trigger for my trade. I just went down to the H1 to find a nice level to trade from. And that's exactly what I did, right? We got a little bounce off. I started entering in here, put my stop above here. And like I say, guys, I'm just looking to take price back down to these lows pretty much where I will take some profit, right? And then I'll let some profit run further. So yeah, again, guys, just simple price action, just reading the chart. And that was the catalyst for my trade. Now, when you're in a trade and you see a candle that reverses like this, right? You know, don't get me wrong. You know, I'm not here staring at the screen all day, right? That, you know, that's exactly what I don't want to do, right? I'd rather, you know, pick my nose or watch a series or do something, have a coffee, meet friends, whatever, right? But when I see a candle like this, I'm thinking, okay, right, this is obviously not what we want to see. And then I do become a little bit more attentive to the screen, right? But then once I saw this candle form, right, I was like, okay, let's just let it play out and see where we are, right? We've got a nice bearish reaction. So yeah, we'll see. My target's back down here. We'll see how this plays out. Now, the interesting bit here, guys, right, that I want to show you, hopefully you'll find it interesting. You might say, Tom, that's the most dullest thing I've ever heard. But I find it interesting because if I go to my trade ideas, right, so in the free Discord, guys, if you haven't joined it, join it. Okay, in the free Discord, okay, I put my trade ideas every day. And this was my trade ideas. These, bad grammar. These were my trade ideas. And as you can see, pound US dollar isn't there. The trade was euro US dollar or US dollar yen. But generally speaking, I'm seeing US dollar weakness, right? So why did I take pound US dollar instead of, say, euro US dollar? Well, let me explain, right? Because if I go to euro pound and I go to the day chart, I know there is a support level here, right? You can see it's been previous support and resistance, and it's proven to be support again, okay? If we go down to the H4 as well, I was aware that this H4 downtrend at this support level has stopped making lower lows. So looking at euro pound tells me that, you know, bouncing off this level, we might, right? Nobody knows, but looking at the facts of the chart, we should see some euro strength off of that level, right? And sure enough, yeah, this is what we're seeing, right? We're seeing euro strength. So this was actually the reason that I chose pound US dollar over euro US dollar, right? Because this chart was telling me euro was stronger than pound, and therefore, why would I sell euro US dollar when I can sell pound US dollar, right? So there's that cross correlations, and you know, you should use that, guys, right? You've got all these 26 currency pairs giving you all this information, so use it, right? So that's why I chose pound US dollar. And as always, guys, you know, I put all of my trade ideas in the VIP Discord, guys, right? So there you can see, there's my pound US dollar trade, pound US dollar sell trade. Yeah, yesterday we got stopped out of our Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar trade. We had a profitable S&P 500 buy, and yeah, we had a couple of those and a EuroCAD sell. Anyway, guys, that's all in the free Discord and VIP Discord. Right, time for the live chat. Let's see who is in the house. So Raphael, hi, how are you? Raphael has already got a question. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Tony, Grand Rising, how are you? Brett, how are you, mate? Lily, the lady with the questions. Okay, and you have a question. Good. We'll take a look at that shortly. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, how are you? Also wants to look at some currency pairs. Tanay, this looks like a new name. I do not recognize this name. Welcome, Tanay. Prathish, Jude, I like the name Jude. I've told you this many a time. Scott, hello. HD, hello. HD is the winner of the quiz, of the last week's quiz. And Mark, hello, hello, hello. Right, so hello everyone. How the devil are you all? Let's go back to the first question I got. So we got a question here from Raphael saying US dollar long trade at current prices, where to put stop loss and take profit. So as you saw, guys, US dollar yen was actually one of my trade ideas for today. So let's understand the trade first and foremost, right? Let me just do this. Right, so yeah, let's understand why I like this trade. And it's simply price action. You know, you're probably thinking, yeah, let me guess, price action. But that's all you need, right? You don't need any fancy indicators, right? You don't need, you know, some holy grail strategy, right? All you really need is price action, right? So why do I like US dollar yen? So if we look at the day chart, we are in an uptrend, okay? So we're getting higher highs, right? These, higher lows. Yeah, these lows never broke, right? And we're getting higher highs. We are in an uptrend. And at this support level down here, right, this last low, look at that candle. Super duper bullish, right? And if I had to, guys, well, I'm not in this trade, but I would take it to this level here, right? Because of this last high here. Okay, I would take it to that level. You know, perhaps leave some profit to run. So they're the reasons I wanted to buy it. Uptrend, off of support, nice big bullish candle, room to move into, right? Common sense, logical stuff. That's all we need, okay? I wish I was more logical and had more common sense in my, you know, actual life. When it comes to trading, I'm okay, but outside, no logic. So yeah, we like buys, but because I like US dollar yen buys, it doesn't mean that we will get a setup, right? And right now we don't have a setup for me, okay? Now, again, obviously I want to be with H4 structure in an ideal world, and I am, right? We're in an uptrend. But you know, a couple of things, right? Look at these two candles, that one and that one. Look at the wicks on them. You know, do you want to buy into those candles, right? So the first answer, or the only answer, right, is no, right? You know, I don't want to buy into those candles. And that suits me because for me to find this trade attractive, like Gal Gadot Superwoman attractive, you know, I need a retrace. You know, and you can see I've got my alarm here, right? You know, because that is really, you know, the last area on the chart that we can look at. Now, you know, hopefully by then the moving average 20 has caught up, right? And if we get some kind of candle that looks like this, holds on to that level, then I'll be interested with US dollar yen, right? But right now, nothing is telling me to buy this pair. You know, even if this candle, and we don't have that long, how long we got? Like 45 minutes for this candle to finish. This is a H4 candle. Even if it's super bullish like that, I'm still not interested. There's no value in buying here, right? And also, as I've mentioned before, there are sellers there. That is a selling level, right? So not interested, right? I need to see price come down into here at the very least, right? Moving average 20 catch up, then we've got a trade, okay? But Raphael's question was, where would you put your stop loss and take profit? So if I entered here, right, which I wouldn't, I just want to get that totally clear, and my target is up here, you know, the only reasonable place to put your stop loss is below here, right? So you put your stop loss in there. But to be honest with you, wouldn't feel comfortable with that because this level has not proved itself. It's had one touch, right? I don't know if that's a good level or not, right? So you know, some might say put your stop loss there. I wouldn't, right? Until this level proves itself, right? If price came down again, like I say, and we got a candle that looked like that, and this level proves itself, then okay, I could start buying here, and then I would feel more comfortable putting my stop loss down there. Okay, I hope that makes sense, guys, right? You need a level to prove itself, right? Now, if I just buy here, I really need to put my stop loss down here, or at least below the moving average 20. And then all of a sudden, if this is my take profit up here, this trade makes no sense whatsoever, right? This is my reward, and I'm risking a lot more, right? If not a hell of a lot more. So just no trade for me with US dollar yen, and those are the things I think about when it comes to stop loss placement, right? Yeah, and before you enter any trade, guys, you need to know where your stop loss is. That should be your first thought, is where can I hide my stop loss? And if you can't hide it, where with regards to the risk to reward doesn't make sense, then you don't have a trade, I'm afraid. That's it, right? So, Raphael, I hope that answers your question. Also, guys, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Also, guys, if you join our trading community, come join our free Discord. It is free, right? You can speak to like-minded traders, have a chit-chat, share trades, talk about plants. Just saw a plant. You can talk about plants if you want. I probably won't join in, but you can. If you talk about trading, I probably will, or football. Anyway, if you join the free Discord, guys, you're also going to get 50% off our Simply Forex complete trading course, right? So no brainer, come join. Also, guys, if you want access to all of our premium trading education, including the Simply Forex course, also the mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one, and the VIP Trading Academy, then please check out our website, www.simply-forex.com. All the information is below the vid. And as you can see above my head as well. And the editor, who is like a genius, excuse me, has made a QR code. So you can see on the screen, guys, just below me. If you just use the QR code, that will take you straight to the free Discord. Check it all out. Right. What other questions did we have? So we got one here from Lily. What do you think about Euro, US dollar, and Swiss franc yen? So Lily, I've already told you that I like Euro, US dollar sells and US dollar strength in general, right? And I am in pound US dollar sell. Let's see how that is going. Okay, so that's still going well, not far from target. Okay, no, it's okay. I'm tempted to take a bit of profit here, but no, we'll let it run. So we know US dollar strength. Let's have a look at Swiss franc yen. And also, guys, when I say US dollar strength, I mean for today, right? I'm an intraday trader. I'm looking at US dollar strength today. It might so happen that I'm looking for US dollar strength again tomorrow. So yeah, just wanted to get that clear. Right, Swiss franc yen. Let's do a top-down approach as one big happy family. Okay, so let's all help Lily out and let's all analyze this pair together. And don't worry, guys, I'll get through all of your questions. Ikram wants to look at Bitcoin. Okay. Right. Let's all do this together, guys, right? We're going to do a top-down approach. I do this every single morning as part of my analysis, right? I wake up, I have my bran flakes or porridge with blueberries or banana. They're pretty much my two breakfasts. Not that you care. But I'm also going to tell you that I love sourdough bread. And I've been eating loaves of that each day. What else have I eaten recently? That's it. I eat healthy, but sourdough bread, I've got a real problem with that. Anyway, Let's focus on trading. So Swiss franc yen, guys, we're going to do a top-down approach. We're going to start with the weekly and then the daily, and then we're also going to look at the H4. Right, so everyone, please get involved. You're here to learn, so why not throw your hat in the ring and try and answer the following questions. Right, so Swiss franc yen, right, weekly chart only. Would you buy, sell, or stay out of this market? So everyone right now, guys, please leave your answer. Would you buy, sell, or stay out of this market? Prathish, yes, I do trade gold when I have a setup. So get involved, guys. Don't be shy. I'm going to drink neat vodka while you do. Right, so Lily has said stay out. Aussie Trev would buy. Carlos would stay out. Lily would buy. Lily, you've changed your mind very quickly. Scott would buy. Marcus would buy. Marky Mark. I hope you are actually Mark Wahlberg. That would be awesome. Hamed, hey Tom, I would choose to buy. Hey Hamed, how are you? Parandeep would stay out. Prathish would buy. Jude would stay out. Prathish would buy. Okay, all right. So we've got a mixed bag, not a mixed bag. So it's either stay out or buy, right, on the weekly chart. And just looking at the chart, right, I would agree with your sentiment. It is buy out or it is buy or stay out. So which one really is it, right? Now, we do find ourselves in an uptrend, right? But it's a big but. Got to be careful what nightclubs you say that in. But it is a big but. We are at a level of key resistance, right? The market, every time it hits this level, kapow. Hits that level, kapow. Hit this level, kapow a little bit, right? So looking at structure, right, we want to buy. But then looking at resistance and these candles, I don't want to buy, right? I do not want to buy into these big bearish candles, right? So straight away, you have an uptrend with bearish candles. You have conflict. And the last thing you want when you trade is conflict. I mean, you know, just anything in life, right? You don't want conflict, right? Your missus or your husband or, you know, Ukraine, Russia, right? Nobody wants conflict. And it's the same with trading, right? So this has conflict. Not interested, stay out, right? But let's do the same for the day chart now. Okay, so I've got a couple of support levels and resistance levels here. Now, same question with the day chart. Would you buy, sell, or stay out? Okay, so same chart, not same chart, same currency pair. Now the day chart, buy, sell, or stay out. So Marky Mark is not the real Mark Wahlberg. Who knew? I was getting excited there. I like Mark Wahlberg. I like his films. But he gets up at then he get up at like 4 a.m. and then go into an ice bath and sleeps in an oxygen chamber and works out at 4 a.m. every day. You know, he sounds like Michael Jackson. Right. We've got stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out, stay out. We've got to definitely stay out, and we've got to stay out. There you go. You have answered the question yourself, guys, right? It's as simple as that, right? You know, keep trading that binary. Just keep it very black and white, right? Ask yourself, would you buy it? Yes or no, right? And let's answer that question, right? So let's first of all understand structure, Christ, I've been drinking. So let's understand structure, which is difficult to do, really. You know, at this point, we're getting higher lows, stopped making higher highs. Now we're getting lower highs. Are we getting, and these lows are holding, right? It's become very disjointed price action, not clear, right? There's a lot of ambiguity, word of the day. So structure's not that clear, but regardless of structure, right, we are at a resistance level and we have a bullish candle. Again, conflict. That is a selling level. That is a buying candle, right? Not interested. Okay, so always ask yourself, right, would you buy it? No. Would you sell it? No. So stay out, right? Next one. And then move on to the next currency pair, right? Don't overcomplicate it any more than that. Yeah, that's your only question. So keep it binary, guys, all right? Okay, so this is where we're at. Now, let's imagine, right, just so we can go down. Actually, no, let's just go to the H4. Let's do one more time frame, guys. Now, H4, okay, we know the answer, right? What would you do? Buy, sell, or stay out of the market? So everyone, guys, please get involved. What would you do? Tony, we've got a very nice question here. Simply Forex education is real and powerful. Thank you very much, Tony. I will pay you later. Tanae would stay out. Brett would stay out. Scott would stay out. Yeah, this one's a bit of a no-brainer, guys, right? It's, yeah, you know. Okay, Aussie Trev would sell. Okay. So it's a no-brainer, guys, right? Again, it's just conflict. There's just nothing but conflict with this pair. Weekly was conflict, stay out. Daily, there was conflict, stay out. And H4, right, again, we're in this uptrend, but do you want to buy into a resistance level? Answers on a postcard, and on that postcard, it should say, no, I bloody don't. Right? I don't want to buy into that level. That would be madness. And we're in an uptrend, right? So I don't really want to sell. Conflict. So Swiss franc yen is the biggest no trade I've ever seen in the history of trading. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. All right, guys. So let's go back to some more questions that we had up here. Let me just find them for So we've got a couple of people interested in. Okay, so Market Mark's interested in New Zealand CAD, and we've got a couple of people interested in yen pairs. All right, so we can get through all of them. So this is the Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark. He's got 12 million followers, but he also comes and watches Simply Forex. Thank you, Mark Wahlberg. So pound New Zealand or New Zealand CAD? Let's pick pound New Zealand dollar. Right. And again, I'm going to do a top-down approach and do it. This is how quickly I would do it. Right? This is, it's not a race. And this is not me saying, oh, look how quick I can do it. But this is how simple you can keep it, right? So here we go. Weekly chart. In an uptrend, right? There's a bit of a level here, right? And we're getting a bit of a bearish wick there. In an uptrend, bearish wick, weekly, don't like. Stay out. Daily. We can put this in now. Right, daily, we're in an uptrend, but price is not breaking this level, right? If it broke this level, I would be interested, but, you know, even when we come in at the start of the day, right, let's ignore this candle because it hasn't formed, but I just don't want to buy into that level. right? If it was past that level, like this, that is probably the best candle I've ever drawn, right? If it was like that, then yeah, okay, but it's not, right? It's at resistance. So I wouldn't be interested. And then if we come back to real time, thank God I wasn't interested, because look at that reaction at that level. And that's it, right? So pound New Zealand dollar, not interested. Because we did it so quick, let's do New Zealand CAD. Same, weekly chart. Right, that is just consolidation. Price isn't going anywhere. Stay out. Daily chart. Bit of a range, but I would also say this is a range stroke downtrend. I would say this low has broken these lows, right? So I would be keen on selling, but look at that candle with that wick. Do you want to sell that candle today? No, no trade. Right, simple as that. While we're going for it, let's go through all of them. I'm going to go through all of them this quickly. Right, and guys, if you want to learn how to read price action, right, like I do, then please check out our premium education. Right, go to the website. We've got the course, which you can get 50% off right now. We've got the mentorship program where I coach you, and you've got the VIP Trading Academy. So if you want to learn how to read charts, check it out. Right, you may have to part with a bit of money. They all vary in costs, so choose the one that suits you. But check it out, guys, if you want to improve as a trader. Right, New Zealand yen now. Tane, New Zealand yen. Here we go. Start with the weekly. So, weekly downtrend at a nice resistance level, bearish candles, if not a bit of indecision with this one. But generally speaking, sellers are in control because of this candle, right? So I would be inclined to sell this. Let's go to the day chart. I would also be inclined to sell this. This could be a really nice trade for tomorrow. So again, let's just start with structure down here. Let me slow it down a bit because I like this trade potentially. Right, this is where we're at. We're now in a downtrend. Lower highs, lower lows. Right, we are in a downtrend. Okay, and remember we had that big weekly bearish candle. So if, right, I'm not interested in, because of this candle here, I wasn't interested in selling it today, right? It's bullish, right? I don't want to sell into bullish candles. But if this last high holds, right, and we end up with a really, like a wick rejection, even if it's a bit of a doji like this, as long as we get this wick rejection that closes back into this high, I would seriously be interested in selling New Zealand yen tomorrow, right? And then if that is the case, this is what I would wait for, right? I would wait for H4 structure. I mean, look at that rejection. Okay, we did have some New Zealand dollar interest rate earlier on today, so right, that could, that's obviously played a role. But then I'm just going to follow H4 structure, right? So if we get something that looks like this runs out of steam, and then we get a break of structure, right? I would be very much interested in selling New Zealand yen. But, imagine, guys, how long you have to wait for this H4 price action. I don't know if it's going to look exactly like this, right? Obviously, if I did, then, somebody send me a Blue Peter badge, right? But if it ends up looking like this, it's going to take hours, days to materialize. And that's fine, right? I'll wait for that and we'll see. If price just carries on, no trade, right? So New Zealand yen, potentially a sell trade with New Zealand yen. Prathish, we've already looked at US dollar yen. Okay, and what other questions have we got? Carlos, my Colombian friend, how are you? Let's have a look at pound yen. Right, so weekly, right? Now, should we do this one together again? I've got a weird message here. Cheap viewers. Does anyone know what this means? Cheap viewers on Streambo, remove the space. Anyway. Yeah, pound yen. Let's do this one together, guys, right? Because we're all here to learn again. So let's do this one together. We've got a bit of time. Let's take a look. Now, weekly chart, right? And weekly chart, guys, you have to ignore this week's candle. You do. It hasn't finished forming. So let's do this again. Pound yen, weekly chart. Would you buy, sell, or stay out of this market? Okay, so everyone, please get involved, guys. Buy, sell, or stay out of this market. Weekly chart only. Leave your comment in the live chat. Daniel, there will be detention. Hi guys, sorry a bit late, went to a party. Okay, no, that's, if you went to a party, no problem. Parties are more important than simply Forex. Was it a good party, Daniel? Was it like a party with alcohol, or was it like a, you know, you took your child and it was a children's party or something like that? Please let us know. I'm interested. Right. Marky Mark, sell. Hamed, sell. Scott, sell. Prathish, sell. Aussie Trev, sell. Tanay would stay out. So, again, guys, you are the sentiment, and you make me like this trade. Mohammed, you have a wonderful name because you have the same name as Mohamed Salah, maybe spelt differently, but you are called Mohammed. Well done. Because Mohamed Salah plays for Liverpool, and I love that man. Anyway, just looking at the weekly chart, this is where we're at, right? We're ranging between here and here, if not a downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. So we're in a downtrend stroke range. So if I get a candle like that at the top of the range, I really want to sell. I know the following week was a complete and utter doji, right? It is, but look, sellers are in control because of this candle and just the area it's in. So everything is telling me that this has room to the downside. Will it make it all the way to the bottom of the range? I don't know, but I don't care because there's enough room in here for me to make some pips on the H4. Right, I could be in and out of this trade, right? And that's a good point, guys, right? If you're a swing trader, right, you've just started selling here and your stop loss is above here, right? And your target is back down to these lows, right? And I would be okay, Mr. Swing Trader, that makes perfect bloody sense. I agree, right? And what's he getting? He's probably getting about a 1:1.2, right? So he's risking 365 to make 540. So yeah, he's getting about 1:1.5. See how I did the maths there so quickly? Got a maths A level. Just wanted to drop that in. Right, okay. Right, sorry, Daniel. We are the party. Yes, we are. I drink throughout the live stream. It is like a party. Picking the kids up. Yes, I've got to go and pick my daughter up pretty soon. Right, so if you're a swing trader, back to my point. Sorry, when somebody mentions a party, I get very distracted and want to go. But a swing trader would do that. And, you know, that would be a good trade, right? He leaves it for a few weeks, a month, a couple of months, and he comes back and he either hits profit or not, right? Now, imagine this trade on the H4. I am an intraday trader. So, right, I could be like, right, one H4 trade in here, another H4 trade in here, right? It comes down, right? And then I get back in here, right? I have another H4 trade in here. Comes up, I get another H4 trade, right? So an intraday trader is in and out of this same move many times. So the swing trader, which is very stress-free and you just leave the chart, right? Let's say he risks 1%, right? And he makes 1.5%, right? Whereas I'm in here making 1%, 1%. Let's say I have a losing trade, -1, +1, +1, right? And I'm like +3% in the same price that he is 1.5% up, or she. Right? So there's the difference between swing trading and intraday trading, right? Anyway, let's carry this on. So I agree with all of you. This is a sell on the weekly chart. Now, let's go down to the day chart, right? Tricky, right? So now, guys, looking at the day chart, what would you do? Would you buy, sell, or stay out? So everyone, guys, let's continue this analysis on. Would you buy, sell, or stay out with pound yen day chart? I'm going to carry on the party. Woo! It's getting, while you answer the question, guys, it is getting bloody hot in Dubai. It's about 43 today. Right, guys, anyone? Pound yen, buy, sell, or stay out? Okay, Daniel is stay out. Wait for the sell opportunity at the resistance. Okay. Aussie Trev is stay out. Hamid is stay out. Anyone else? Okay. Scott is stay out. Jude is stay out. Mark Wahlberg is stay out. Tony is stay out and wait. And I agree with all of you. Right? So it just, it's really interesting, guys, right? Oh, actually, let's do this. Sorry, we've missed some key information there. Let's go back to where we were, because we can't. There we go. Sorry, guys, because it was on the rewind button. But you answered this question when price was like this, right? And totally agree, right? This really is in an uptrend. It is still. We haven't broken this low. We've got higher highs, right? But just look at his price action. It's really confused and consolidating. So that would just be a stay out, right? So we wouldn't have a trade. Now let's go back to real time. Now knowing what we know, right? On that weekly chart, we know we want to sell from this level, right? Now, I'm not just going to see that and sell, right? Especially if you look at the day chart, nothing is telling us to sell pound yen. Far from it. Okay, but now, right, once this, or if price eventually does this, right, and then we get a break of these lows, I will be, because of the weekly confirmation as well, I will be all over this sell trade, like literally all over it. So yeah, so but again, you have to wait, right? Now, a lot of new traders will do this, right? They see that weekly chart, see price come back into this resistance level. They're like, Tom, I'm selling. And then price comes up and takes you out. Your stop loss is up here. Because you try to get in at the early price. Carlos, you'll remember this, right? You try to get in at the early price. That's not how to trade. You want to get in at the price where buyers are totally exhausted. And that will be when we get a break of structure. That shows us that that buyers have given up and sellers are dominant. Then if you have the weekly chart and the daily chart where sellers are dominant, you know you've got a good trade, or at least a high probability trade. All right, guys. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button if you've enjoyed the live stream. Also, guys, if you want to read charts like this, please check out our Simply Forex course, the mentorship program, and the VIP Trading Academy. It's all on our website. And also, please come join our trading community. And by doing so, you will get 50% off our course. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Have a great trading day, and I will see you next time.